If you're worried about stagflation and you're a new investor, I'm going to tell you what to do. But before we get started, I'm going to need you to smash that follow button. That's the only thing that I ask. Everything here on my channel is 100% free. And we're going to go over some of them in a minute. And I promise you're going to want those resources. The last time we really had some serious stagflation was in the 1970s and 80s. So it's rare, doesn't happen all the time, but it is that triple threat of like three big problems. It's high inflation, it is high unemployment, and it is low consumer demand. So you add all those three things together and yikes. And stagflation is typically unusual because high inflation usually happens in a strong economy. And for us to experience or go through a period of stagflation, we need all three things. So high unemployment, low consumer demand, and high interest all at the same time. And that's typically unusual. The problem is right now we're seeing some of those things already. We already have high inflation, and we're already seeing signs of consumer demand on the downtrend. The thing that we haven't yet seen, which I believe that we could see soon, is high unemployment. So we already have high inflation. We have signs. Who's honking out there? Shut up, I'm in the middle of a TikTok. We have signs of slowing consumer demand, and we might be having unemployment tick up. Enter stagflation. Now, one of the ways that you prevent stagflation from happening is you keep unemployment low, you keep inflation tamped down. It'll never be nothing, but you can get it down, which we were moving towards under the previous administration. And now, unfortunately, due to these tariffs and potential trade wars, it seems like prices are on the move up. And of course, last but not least, you have to incentivize people to shop. And the way you do that is that you give them confidence. What Wall Street and consumers don't like are unknowns. That's why Trump is so volatile and Wall Street is so uncertain, because from one day to the next, it seems like, I mean, just here in DC, man, they tell you, you're furloughed. Then they say, wait, come back. Then oh, okay, we're coming back. Nope, just kidding, you're fired. Oh, okay, so we are fired. Yeah, you're fired. Then they go, wait a minute. There's no one here to run the stuff that we need or to process out the termination paperwork for the rest of the staff. Okay, wait, everyone come back, or at least half the people come back, and then everyone shows up. There's no Wi-Fi, there's no electricity. They've shut everything down in the buildings. All the computers are gone. They're like, wait, so what are we doing here? And they call this the Department of Efficiency, government efficiency. So, joke's on them. Anyway, all this to say, there's so much uncertainty happening right now that if you are a consumer, if you are a person, and you're worried about, oh, my partner could lose their job, or I could lose my job, or this could be a spiraling snowball effect where it starts with them and then it moves into everything else, which is usually what happens in a recession. Everyone starts tightening. It's sort of like a self-fulfilling if you say it's going to happen, it happens because people start tightening up. Oh, a recession is coming. Oh, well, then I'm not going to spend so much because I'm worried. Then that kind of eggs things on a little bit, and then bam, you get yourself a recession. So what am I doing personally? I'm doing the same thing. I already live below my means. If you follow me, you know that. I live below my means already. But I'm living even more below my means. I'm looking at stuff like, oh man, I'd like to go out for sushi tonight. Oh, it's going to cost like $80 for the two of us. Maybe we'll just make some pasta for dinner instead. And we're making changes like that. I'm also sitting on a lot more cash than I normally do. I'm a pretty consistent investor. So one of the ways you can prevent or at least protect yourself from stagflation is to be a diversified investor. And I know the word diverse is illegal now. You can't say diverse or diversity or anything like that. But when it comes to your stock portfolio, I promise you, it's a word you're going to want to have around. A lot of new investors are like, what's the hot stock? Is it NVIDIA? Is it this one? Is it that one? And they neglect the safe and boring stuff like an S&P 500 ETF, a dividend ETF, a technology ETF. I got playlists on all of those, by the way, right here and on my YouTube channel. So familiarize yourself with them. I'll show you something else, a resource. All my resources are free, but I'll show you a couple more in a second. But dividend stocks are fantastic. I have playlists on dividends. Real estate investment trusts are fantastic because they insulate you. Those are fantastic. And of course, some are a little bit risky and others are less risky. So you got to do your research. Bonds are another great way. Gold is another thing you can do, and just sitting on cash, which is what I'm doing right now, because when markets tank, you know what I'm going to do. I do this every video now, it feels like. When markets tank, you want to have yourself a recession wish list. You can check one of my more recent videos I just posted that goes over how to formulate a wish list. But this is mine from November 2008. Get your wish list figured out, because when markets nosedive, look, everyone says this time is different. They say that during every recession. But this time is no different than any of the others. We'll recover, things will get better, hopefully, and we'll move on from this nightmare, and everything will be fine in a couple of years. Well, maybe not everything. A lot of stuff is going to be drastically changed, but the markets and your money will be fine in the stock market down the road, even if there's short-term turmoil. But you want to be able to take advantage of that short-term volatility. You know that old Warren Buffett quote, when others are fearful, be greedy, and when others are greedy, be fearful. So when markets nosedive, I pounce. I've been doing that slow and steady, because I think things get worse from here. But, you know, we could all be wrong. Things could magically get better tomorrow. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. So instead of buying my usual 100 shares at a time, I'm buying like 10, 25, 50 shares at a time. Slow and steady, adding in on major down days. Like today, the markets are down almost 2%, 1.8% right now. Yikes, that's bad. So maybe I go shopping. Maybe I go and I buy a little of this, I buy a little of that. All right, let me get to the resources. I know I'm talking a lot. If you want to learn how to invest for actually free, you just need to go right here and click on the menu, which is right here. All of these resources are actually free. The ETF comparison template, the stock fight comparison template, my course for beginners is all free. It is all free. There's no email sign up. There's no nothing. You just click on the thing that you want, and it takes you right to the template, which you can click on, and here it is. And if you're interested, I also do have a blog where I update it every so often, and you can just scroll through the blog and read some of my old articles. There's a lot of them here. Side hustles, should you wait to invest? This is a good one. All right, thanks for watching. Hit the follow. Don't be nervous. The best thing you can do to protect yourself from stagflation is to invest and diversify your investments. All right, thanks for watching. See you later.